Hello. So we are here because we have a real problem, a real struggle, a serious issue at hand. A lot of things are going on in the world, a lot of noise, and standing out and being seen while also protecting yourself is getting more and more challenging. And so we're here to talk about ways that you can survive and thrive and be seen and have sustainable visibility so that you don't go into periods of hiding. And whether it's in parts of your career, life, or business, I've noticed sometimes when people reach a certain level of achievement, hiding and having that almost implode on top of them is not all that far away, and I don't want that for you. So we're here to address that. So just a bit of an introduction, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I'm a holistic visibility expert. That means I serve people who want to create structure and safety around being seen in all aspects of life, business, and career. Beyond mindset, my deliverables look like creating relationships at scale, and I do this by various services. We may or may not talk about those, but the details of that doesn't matter. This really is about you and showing up and being visible and why it might be a bit of a challenge, especially when it comes to finding the right type of support. But my gifts as a person, as a human, I have a background in the world of health. I've been a owner for 5 years. I've been a part of a board. I've been in organizations that are very large, over the $1 billion mark, and I've noticed certain patterns. So I love serving and assisting professionals who are already busy enough with building their ecosystems of support so that they can have sustainable visibility versus random periods of hiding during times of growth or even plateaus. So we want to achieve our highest level of functioning. That's why we're here, right? We want to achieve our top level of functioning in our role as a wife, a mom, a worker, a business owner. That's what we want to do. And we're just off of the Olympics not all that long ago when we saw a lot of amazing performers and they're really at their top peak. And the thing about it is when you are in that role or you're functioning at that pace, it can easily be almost like a house of cards situation. It looks beautiful on the inside, but it looks beautiful on the outside, but the inside may not be as stable as one thinks, and it may not be all that far away from crumbling even. And I've been talking to so many professionals and leaders who are just this close to like walking away from it all. And when I say walking away from it at all, use that to fill in the meaning with your own story. For some people, it's meant walking away from a high level leadership position without a plan in place. Or this lady, she's literally walking away. She has her suitcase, and where is the nearest bus stop? Where is the train station? Where is the airport? She's just, just needs to leave. And so what we're here to do is to talk about building an ecosystem of support. And when I invite you to think about ecosystem, I want you to think about the environment. So with the environment, you have the trees, you have plants, you have dirt, you have bugs. I had to put an image of a different looking bug. The bug they had here looked a little too real. I didn't want to keep looking at it. But in any case, you have different things that all work together in the benefit, in the service of one another. And so my name is Amelia. I am owner of Solutions by Amelia. And I noticed that when it came to creating safety and structure around receiving support so that people can remain visible, there was a lot of trust issues that came up. And so I invite you to think about, what do you need to show up and be seen? And, in going through the responses of different people, I've noticed that when it comes to creating safety, you have to make it safe for yourself as well as safe for the person that you're bringing in to support you. Is there a match? And there's lots of things that can be done even when it comes to bringing in vendor support. There's ways that people can partner with you to make sure that there isn't a whole lot of back and forth and onboarding goes smoothly. And this person can also serve as a resource to that person that's supporting you. And we're even talking about it because I noticed that not all of us have been used to receiving support. So we are here with Brad, Ryan, Connor, I'm not quite sure, but there's a topic called assumed leadership. Now, assumed leadership is just that. I mean, there's deeper work on it, but the long and short of it all, there are certain members of society that from birth, it was assumed that they would have a leadership role. It was assumed that they would be in some sort of revenue generator role. And there was, because of how the system is set up to support certain people with this assumed leadership, everyone just is, you put them in a group, you put them in a group of people, then you have people that might look like me. There's more likely than not, if someone was looking on the outside, they may just guess that somebody was leading this project versus me for whatever reason. And along with that assumed leadership, there is also an understanding of a deep worthiness to be happy. Things are set up so that their path is a little bit smoother, and they also feel that they are worthy to achieve certain things, as evidenced by certain conduct, certain things that they'll just go out on a limb and do without asking a lot of permission, a certain way that they will negotiate for salary. We all know the wage discrepancy among women of color versus the majority. A lot of it, they feel comfortable with asking for certain things that we just don't. And when we start our own business, and we have the authority to name our own price, we're still naming a lower price. So there's just also a deep worthiness to be happy that may not be held by all of us. And what happens with this is when we do eventually achieve a certain level of success, or our version of success, everybody's surprised. We're surprised, other people are surprised, and the tools and resources of support once we get to that level may not be there. And, we might be just hoping for the best, that the right support comes along and the right people enter our lives, and, just hoping for the best, because we weren't prepared to assume this leadership role, and we weren't necessarily birthed from birth, given almost permission that we are worthy to be happy just because of how life is. And so what I found through my journey as a person, also in a healthcare setting, just seeing people achieve various levels of success in their business, have to enter the healthcare system because they're being taken out by stress. Run of the mill stress. These are epic, amazing people that might be taken out by stress. So what I enjoy doing is coming along, creating a support ecosystem, examining safety nets, taking a look at what protections are around you so that you can be seen and show up and take up space and feel safe doing so. So we want to our intent is to own our role as income generator. Whether we're generating income for our household, for ourselves, for a business, we really want to own that role. However, when we're going at a fast pace, sometimes we can hit a brick wall. And the pace at which we hit the brick wall, there can be different things that happen because of that. And what I want to do is come alongside you as a guide to support you to get to back to your highest level of functioning, so you can continue to feel seen and take up space and be okay with that. And I invite people to consider me as a guide, because you, as the expert in your business, life, and career, you are that. You'll own that. My perspective isn't somebody who has a 7 or 8 figure business. I'm not here to say these are the steps to do that you need to take to get to 7 to 8 figures. My perspective is from a service provider role. I've been a service provider in lots of different organizations, again, from the multi-billion-dollar organizations to boards, different industries. I've provided services to people. I've observed challenges, and I've seen things that did not work on a consistent basis, and I've seen success stories. And so that's I take from that to share options and opportunities to create your ecosystem of support so that you can be seen. And I like this picture because this is, she might be a teacher, tutor, grandmother, but she's bringing her perspectives over her time to this young lady. Now, this young lady, she is expert in lots of things this older person is an expert in, but the two of them together, amazing things can happen to the benefit of one another. And so you are expert in your industry. You may have a 7-figure organization and, a team of, 20 or 30 people, and you're an expert in that. I'm here as a guide, simply taking a look at what you have set up, taking a look at where you want to be, and giving suggestions based on what I've seen work over the course of many years. Now, when we talk about that, we have another young lady who looks to be a little distressful, right? And you may have had not so great experiences when it has come to bringing in support, so that when someone comes along wanting to come alongside you, you might be suspect and might not be that ready to trust. And we'll talk about that, because I found that key to bringing in support in a way that feels good, and is safe for everybody. It's safe for you, safe for the people coming in, is have a framework. Have a framework first, and then on top of that framework, you can start to bring in support, and you can start to see where you actually need support. And part of my process I'll show here, I'd say all the time, I don't sell information, I sell time. So I really hope that you're able to take what I'm sharing with you and at least get a start around sort of dissecting and unpacking areas that you can address so that you can show up more fully. I had a client who is a 7-figure plus business owner. She has a team. And after working with me, she said that she felt like for the first time, she really owned her story. So what we do is we start with an assessment. We talk about, things that you love to do. And this is all areas of your life, business, and career. What are some things you love to do? What are some things you hate to do? What are some things you just don't have the time to do? And what would you like to learn to do? And we also cover other questions, but our goal in this really is to take a look at themes, to see what themes arise, because typically, because of how our brain works, helpers start to become apparent and clear. And another process will start around creating, safety around being supported. But when we get to that, a readiness to be seen can become more clear. And we can also create structures so that you can confidently pursue, leadership opportunities and start to develop a creative eye for collaborations, and really bring attention to yourself in ways that you may not have thought of before. And when I say bring attention to yourself, I mean attention to yourself as somebody who has value to offer other people. We're not just here to, toot our own horns, but I do want you to be a clearly seen source of value and support for people who are looking to what you have to offer. So when I talk about building support ecosystems, think of it in terms of building visibility, leadership, revenue generator muscles, because again, there's some of us who just, weren't birthed with the inborn profound worthiness to be happy, and the world set up to make sure that we're all successful. So if that's not you, we may need support around building these leadership muscles in a way. And I come along as a spotter, a trainer, in a way, even a cheerleader, so that you can continue to build this. And what we do is, after we go through that work phase, we really come back together. We meet at the corner of planning and implementation. And there's more to it, but I don't want this to be all that long. I want to keep this under 15 minutes. At the end of the day, after working together, you'll have a support ecosystem. And I invite you to really think of it as asking for health. And this was gifted to me from Ronnie. And she's an expert in networking. And we were actually talking about networking. We all love that. But asking for health, because that really is what you're doing when you're wanting to ask for health, so that you can scale with sanity and maintain sustainable visibility. So my name is Amelia, owner of Solutions by Amelia. And, if anything was interesting, I want to just share with you some ways that some have partnered with me and allowed me to come in and support their organization or them as an individual. So I have day rates where people can almost rent my brain for a day, where we go over messaging, wording related to what they do, and how they can start to invite in help and find the right strategic partnerships so that they can achieve more of what they want in their life, business, and career. We create a database of people who might be able to support them. This can be a database of referral partners, of vendors. If you're working on a particular topic and you want to find the right vendor, that's what that looks like. And so we have these sessions over Voxer. You'll get pre-work beforehand, and then the day of our session, ask me the question, and then I start to work and reach out to my network and do research and fill out a action plan so that you will be successful. And deliverables of this day, it's a long day. It's a lot of communication. We talk over Voxer on a regular basis throughout that day. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks for me and my team to get back to you, your final resolution, which would be the answer to the questions that you had. I also offer a done with you, where on top of that, we create outreach messages for people that you would like to bring into your network, like to form your network of support. And there's also multi-channel follow-up on my team's end to make sure that you have the answers that you need. All right. And so this is a done with you over a period of 6 months. This is a longer term relationship. And then there is a done for you for the people who are super busy. This may include phone calls to partners and phone calls to individuals, asking of questions, asking them to take me through their process of working with people, making sure that there's structure around how they're coming into your life, and also that they have structure with how they receive additional work to make sure that they're not overwhelmed by the issues and by issues and challenges that they may not be equipped to deal with. I say we can find that out before money is exchanged. And so, or also, if you are looking for a partner for partnership opportunities, so that you can share the different parts of your business with someone else, that might look like you getting in front of their audience and you collaborating with them. There's a lot of ways your ecosystem of support might look. It won't look the same for two groups of people. And calendar support, because there's, again, lots of meetings, you're talking to humans, and you might need support with that. So I'm over 15 minutes. I'm at 16:44. So let me stop now. Again, my name is Amelia, owner of Solutions by Amelia. If anything seemed interesting, feel free to reach out, and you take care.